Hey everyone, welcome back. If you ever wanted to make your own video game, 2026 is genuinely one of the best times in history to do it. The tools have never been cheaper. AI has turbocharged what a single person can build, and indie games are dominating the market, outselling AAA titles in some genres. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Game dev is hard, there's a lot to learn, a lot of decisions to make, and a lot of people who start and never finish. So today, I'm giving you a complete roadmap from picking your engine to writing your first line of code to marketing your game, building your community around it, whether you've never touched code or you've been practicing for years, this video is for you. First, some context. The indie game market hit 15 billion in 2025 and is still growing. Steam alone has 75,000 titles, the majority of which are indie. But here's what changed in 2026. The barrier to entry has collapsed. AI tools now handle concept art, music prototyping, and even code generation. Game engines are now free until you're making real money. You can ship on PC, mobile, and console from the same code base. The opportunity is real, the competition is real, and the path has never been clearer, if you know where to look. Let's talk about what game development actually involves. In a AAA studio, you'd have entire departments for each of these. As an indie dev, you'll wear most of all these hats, at least early on. Game designer. This is the person who figures out how the game works. Mechanics, level design, progression systems, balance. This is often where your ideas live. Programmer and developer. Turns design into reality. Writes the code that makes the physics work, the enemies move, the UI respond. Artist and animator. Everything visual, characters, environments, UI, cutscenes, particle effects. You don't need to be great at art. Pixel art is wildly popular and learnable. Audio designer. Music, sound effects, ambient noise. Often overlooked, always critical. Producer and project manager. Keeps the project on track, manages scope, sets milestones. Yes, even solo devs need this skill. QA tester. Finding bugs before your players do. As a solo dev, this is a painful but necessary. Now, you do not need to master all of these. Pick one or two as your focus and find collaborators, outsource, or use AI tools for the rest. More on that later. This is where a lot of aspiring devs go wrong. I know you have the idea, the open world RPG with deep crafting, a branching story, 50 hours of content, and multiplayer. I know it, I've been there. Here's the truth. Finishing is a skill, and most people never finish their first game, not because they're not talented, but because they're underestimating the scope. Your first game should be something you can finish in 4 to 8 weeks. A Pong clone, a Flappy Bird variant, a simple platformer with 5 levels, a card game. Why? You'll learn the complete game dev pipeline, design, build, test, and publish. You build momentum and confidence. You discover what you actually enjoy. You have something to show. After your first small game, your second game can be bigger and more bigger after that. This is called the scope ladder, and every successful indie game dev has climbed it. Stardew Valley took 4 years solo, but Concert Ape had shipped smaller projects first. Undertale took 2.5 years. Toby Fox had made games before. Start small, finish, ship, and repeat. Here are the fundamental skills every game developer needs, regardless of what type of game you're making. 1. Game loop understanding. Every game runs on a loop, read input, update state, and render. Understanding this at a deep level changes how you think about everything. 2. Physics and collision. How objects move, collide, and interact. Even simple 2D games need this. You don't need to write a physics engine, just understand the concepts. 3. State management. What state is your game in? Menu, playing, pause, game over. Managing transitions between states cleanly is crucial. 4. Input handling. Keyboard, mouse, controller, touch. How do you read and respond to the player's input? 5. Scene management. How do you load and unload levels? How do you transition between scenes without crashing? 6. UI and UX design. Menus, hoods, health bars, inventory screens. Bad UI ruins good games. 7. Save systems. How do you save and load game progress? This trips up so many beginners. 8. Audio integration. Triggering sound effects, layering music, managing audio channels. 9. Version control. Non-negotiable. Use Git, commit often. You will thank yourself later. 10. Playtesting and alliteration. Watch someone else play your game without guiding them. Where do they get stuck? What confuses them? Alliterate. You don't learn all of these at once. You learn them as you build. Each project teaches you something new. Choosing your engine is one of the most important decisions you'll make. Let's break down the top options for indie game devs in 2026. Unity, the workhorse, massive community, incredible asset store, works for 2D and 3D, uses C#. After the 2023 controversy, Unity revised their pricing in 2026. It's free for developers making under $200K a year. Solid choice for beginners, especially for mobile. Pros, huge community, tons of tutorials, flexible. Cons, can be bloated. C# takes some time to learn. Godot, the open source champion, has exploded in popularity since Unity's controversy. Uses GDScript, Python-like, or C#. Free forever, no royalties, no licensing fees. Pros, lightweight, fast, genuinely excellent for 2D, growing 3D support. Cons, smaller community than Unity, but growing fast, less mature 3D pipelines. Unreal Engine, the powerhouse. If you want photorealistic 3D games, Unreal Engine is the industry standard. Uses Blueprints, visual scripting, or C++. Free until you earn $1 million, then 5% royalties after. Pros, stunning graphics, used in AAA, great for FPS and 3D games. Cons, heavy, complex, overkill for small indie games, steep learning curve. Game Maker, the 2D specialist. Many classic indie hits, Undertale, Hotline Miami, Spelunky, were made in Game Maker. Uses GML, Game Maker language. Paid subscription model, $99 a year for indie. Pros, purpose built for 2D, fast prototyping. Cons, less versatile, costs money, smaller ecosystem. My recommendation, beginner, Godot. Free, simple, and great for 2D. Mobile focus, Unity. 3D realistic games, Unreal Engine. 2D games, fast prototyping, Game Maker. Every game engine uses scripting or programming languages. Here's a quick breakdown of what you'll learn or encounter. GDScript, Godot. Python-inspired, clean, readable, beginner-friendly, designed specifically for games. If you've never coded before, start here. C#, Unity, and Godot. Object-oriented, strongly typed, widely used in industry, more powerful and complex than GDScript. Great if you want to learn skills that transfer to software development. GML GameMaker. GameMaker language, quirky but powerful, designed specifically for game loops and events. C++ Unreal Engine, the most powerful and the most difficult, industry standard for AAA development, not recommended for beginners. Blueprints Unreal Engine, visual scripting, drag and drop logic, great for prototyping in Unreal Engine without writing C++, great for beginners. Lua, Roblox, and Love 2D, lightweight scripting language. If you're using Roblox Studio or Love Framework, you'll be writing Lua. My take, don't let language choice paralyze you. GDScript or C# will take you very, very far. Pick one engine, learn this language, and ship something. You can always learn more later. This is 2026, and AI has fundamentally changed what a solo developer can build. Let's talk about that honestly. Concept arts and visual sets. Tools like Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, Adobe Firefly let you generate concept art, textures, backgrounds, and UI elements. You still need an eye for design, but you no longer need to be a trained artist to have polished visuals. Code assistants. GitHub Copilot, Claude, and ChatGPT can write boilerplate code, debug errors, and explain concepts. A good AI assistant can cut your development time by 30 to 50% on a routine task. How to use it well? Describe what you want clearly, review the output. AI makes mistakes. Use it as a pair programmer, not a replacement for understanding. Music and audio. Tools like Suno and Udio can generate original music in specific styles. 11 Labs handles voice acting. AI Va creates adaptive game soundtracks. Procedural generation. AI-assisted level generation, NPC dialogue, and dynamic difficulty adjustments are now accessible to indie game devs through plugins and APIs. Where AI doesn't replace you. Game design instincts, creative vision, playtesting and alliteration, community building, understanding what makes a game feel good. AI is your production accelerator, but the soul of your game, the thing that makes people fall in love with it, that's still you. Optimization is often the last thing beginners think about, and it bites them hard. Why it matters? A laggy, janky game will get bad reviews no matter how good the design is. Performance is part of the player's experience. Key optimization concepts for indie devs. Draw calls. Every time a GPU draws something, that's a draw call. Too many and your frame rate tanks. Use sprite atlases, texturing packing, batching, and static objects to reduce draw calls. Object pooling. Don't create and destroy objects, like bullets or enemies, constantly. Create a pool of them and recycle. This prevents garbage collection spikes. LOD, or level of detail. For 3D games, swap high poly models for low poly ones when they're far from the camera. Profiling. Unity, Godot, and Unreal Engine all have built-in profilers. Use them. Don't guess where the bottleneck is, measure it. Memory management. Unload assets you don't need. Stream large audio files instead of loading them into RAM. Be careful with large textures. Physics and optimization. Simplify collision meshes. Use layers to prevent unnecessary collision checks. Don't run physics on objects that don't need it. Target platforms matter. Optimize for your lowest spec target. If you're shipping on a mobile or Nintendo Switch, you need to be aggressive with optimization early. This section is close to my heart and is something the industry is finally taking seriously. Accessibility means making your game playable by as many people as possible, including people with visual, auditory, motor, and cognitive differences. Why does this matter as an indie dev? It expands your potential audience. It's the right thing to do. Many accessibility features improve the experience for everyone. Visual accessibility, colorblind modes, duotanopia, protanopia, tritanopia. Color alone should never convey critical information. Adjustable UI scaling, high contrast mode, subtitles and closed captions with speaker identification, screen reader support for menus. Motor accessibility, remappable controls, always no exceptions, hold versus toggle options for buttons, adjustable input timing for QTE or rhythm elements, one-handed controller support where it's possible, controller support alongside keyboard and mouse. Cognitive accessibility, adjustable game speed, clear simple tutorials, pause anywhere, multiple difficulty levels or assist modes, clear objectives and UI. Auditory accessibility, full subtitles, visual audio cues, flashing indicators for audio events, separate volume sliders, music, SFX, voice. The Last of Us and God of War franchises have set gold standard for accessibility options. Study them. Many indie game devs now use tools like the Game Accessibility Guidelines as a checklist. Here's a truth that's hard to hear. A great game with bad marketing will fail. A mediocre game with great marketing will succeed. You need to market. There is no build it and they will come. Begin showing your game while it's in development. Wishlist on Steam, followers on socials, email list, subscribers. All of these warm up an audience that will be ready to buy on launch day. Getting your game on Steam Early Access or with a coming soon page is critical. Steam's algorithm rewards games with lots of wishlists on launch. Aim for 7,000 plus wishlists before launch. This is roughly the threshold for successful indie launch. You need 3 trailers. 1. An announcement trailer, 60 to 90 seconds. Show the game's vibe, gets people interested. 2. Gameplay trailer, 2 to 3 minutes. Show actual gameplay, no cutscenes, no logo screens, just gameplay. 3. Launch trailer, polish, excitement, hype. Spend real time on your trailers. This is often the player's first impression. Send review copies to indie game YouTubers and streamers. Small to mid-sized creators, 10K to 500K subscribers, are often more impactful for indie games than huge ones. Tools like Keymailer and Woovit help with this. Shipping a free demo during a Steam Next Fest can generate enormous wishlist spikes. In 2026, NextFest is one of the most valuable marketing events available to indie devs. Social media is where you build your audience before your game launches. Here's how to think about each platform: TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. Short form video is currently the highest reach format for indie devs. Show development progress before and afters, funny bugs, satisfying moments. The algorithm rewards consistency. Post 3 to 5 times per week. Twitter and X. The indie dev community is still active here. Use hashtag IndieDev, hashtag GameDev, hashtag ScreenshotSaturday. Engage with other devs, show progress, reply to people, build genuine connections. YouTube. Longer devlogs, tutorials, and postmortems. These take more work but build deep, loyal audiences. One good devlog can drive thousands of wish lists. Reddit. r/anygaming, r/gamedev, r/unity3d, r/godot. These communities will give you brutal, honest feedback. Share carefully, engage genuinely, no spam. Discord. Build your own server early. This becomes your most engaged community. Behind the scenes content, beta testing, and direct player feedback. Content ideas. I made a game in 7 days. Bug fix animations showing broken versus fixed. Before and after graphics comparisons. Behind the scenes of difficult features. What I wish I knew when I started. The key insight: you're not promoting a game, you're sharing your journey. People connect with your process, struggle, and growth. Community is your most underrated competitive advantage. Big studios spend millions trying to build what an indie dev can build authentically: a genuine relationship with players. Discord server setup. Create channels for announcements, devlog, screenshots, feedback, bugs, off topic, and introductions. Keep it organized but welcoming. Be active in it yourself, at least early on. Engage early supporters. People who join your Discord when you have 10 members are gold. Give them a special role, thank them, and they'll become your advocates and beta testers. Beta testing. Run closed beta tests. Let community members be the first to play. This creates ownership. They help make the game. They'll promote it proudly on launch day. Listening to feedback without losing your vision. Feedback is data. You don't have to act on every piece of feedback, but you should listen to all of it. Look for patterns. If 20 people say your tutorial is confusing, it's confusing. If 2 people want you to change the core mechanic, maybe not. Content creator relationships. Build authentic relationships with small content creators who genuinely love your engineer. Don't just send keys. Engage with their content, thank them publicly, invite them into your community. Post-launch community. The work doesn't end at launch. Update your game, fix bugs quickly, communicate about what's coming. A game that gets regular updates and has a responsive developer keeps players around and keeps selling. Okay, let's put all of that together with a realistic roadmap. Month 1 through 2, learn and prototype. Pick your game engine, complete one beginner tutorial, build a tiny prototype just to understand the basics. Month 3 to 4, first finish game. Build a complete small game. Doesn't need to be a good one, just needs to be finished, and you can publish it for free on itch.io. Month 5 through 8, second game. Slightly more ambitious, apply what you've learned, start showing progress on social media. Month 9 through 12, Core Skills Deep Dive. Fill in the gaps, study the things that tripped you up, learn optimization, accessibility fixes, proper version control. Year 2, your real first game. Now you're ready for something more ambitious. Set up a Steam page, build your community, market before you launch. Launch and alliterate. Ship it, listen to feedback, update, and build your reputation. Look, the honest truth is most people who want to make games never start, and most people who start never finish. But you're watching this video, which means you're serious. And if you want to commit to the process, start small, ship consistently, build in public, and keep learning. You will make games, real ones, games people play and love. The indie scene needs your voice, your weird idea, your niche game that only 10,000 people in the world have been waiting for. Go build it. If the video helped you, smash the like button and subscribe. You can find all my socials in the description below. You can find my main channel where I live stream game dev and gaming, and also the Discord and my Unreal Engine Memphis community. I'll hope to see you guys there.